You are listening to a Mythmakers podcast of a one-shot called On the Shoulders of Giants. And the players are...
Hi, I'm Gerda. I'm playing Kato, which is a human druid, and I'm also playing Katarina.
I'm Dominique. I'm playing a human ranger called Adra, and I'm also playing Julie.
Hi, I'm Melanie, and I'm playing Jurgen, who is a Goliath barbarian, and I also play Ilse, who is a wannabe scientist.
Now, these characters, as you might have noticed, all characters or all players are playing two characters at the same time. Will make a lot more sense while we are in session. So let's play without further ado.
Sounds good.
It is 1648 in Drenthe. Spain, after decades of conflict, has only recently finally recognized the sovereignty of the Republic of the Seven United Netherlands. All of the Netherlands is changing, and Drenthe is no exception, yet it is still considered little more than isolated and backwater peatland by many. So while the peace of Münster is enjoyed by all, life continues, and for some, life lacks cause for celebration. This holds true especially for three individuals traveling on the northern road from Coevorden. Last night, they were still in separate cells being tried for witchcraft and possibly even awaiting their execution. Now the three find themselves shackled to a cart, followed by a small entourage of soldiers going who knows where. All they've been told is what they are being given a chance to earn: God's forgiveness. Yes, I know. Keep my eyes on the road. But come on, Matthias. What are you expecting to find? Enemy soldiers waiting to ambush us? It's Beastman. They can still be bandits or worse. Bandits in Drenthe? Who is worth waylaying in these parts? Nevertheless, Adrian, we should be careful, especially with our cargo. And there's the downside. I wasn't looking forward to spending my time escorting a bunch of supposed witches. One of them is a child, for heaven's sake. Not all children are innocent, don't forget, Adrian. Besides, this is what the Reverend wanted us to do. But wait, doesn't the Reverend live in Coevorden, the new one? Why does he want us to take them north? He owns a farmhouse in Rey. Never heard of it. Yeah, me neither. But that's where they are going. You hear that, ladies? You're being given a chance to prove your innocence in the eyes of God.
Great.
Okay. But sir, I've done nothing wrong.
Well, I mean, you're a witch, aren't you?
I'm not. Sir, please. You see an elderly lady. She is past 60 now. Her hair gray, very simple attire, and she's wearing a distinct bouquet of flowers in her hair, much brighter than anything else that she exudes. And she looks defeated. Sir, please. I'm not a witch. He
scoffs. The other one tells him, "Sit down, Adrian, sit down. Eyes on the road."
Am I a witch? And you see this little girl who's sitting in between these two other ladies. And she's very covered in dirt and grime, and her hair is messy, and there's twigs sticking out of her hair. She's very much of the woods, and she's very confused, and just mostly, she has no idea what she's doing here. So she's looking at these other people like, am I a witch? Who said that? What?
Oh no, sweetie. It's fine. Everything will be fine.
But I left my frog behind.
Your frog?
Yeah. It's this little green frog that I was taking care of, and the kids, they chased it away, and I don't know where it is.
Don't you worry, honey. They'll realize that they've made a mistake.
Okay.
It'll be fine, right? And you aren't a witch either, right?
What? You see a woman in her 20s, I imagine. She has long, kind of straight hair, and she looks around as you address her while she's trying to break out. And she doesn't really have the equipment to do it, but she's trying to find like weak points but they're probably not there. And she looks up and she says, "Witch? I haven't really tested it.
Have
you?
How do you test that?
I imagine there are certain procedures to go through.
I
See if you float."
I'd like to go home. Okay, sweetie, it will be fine. She reaches out her hand and takes your hand.
Yeah, Julie does take your hand. She's like, "Thank you. Thank you."
Quiet back there, one of them says. We're almost there. Don't you worry. Besides, you guys are lying, aren't you? You're witches. Short of proof, it all makes sense.
Short of proof, you say?
Yeah, all of you have been found having a seizure, and we all know that having a seizure means you've made a pact with the devil. So...
What is a witch?
What is a witch?
Yeah. What is it, even?
Where do you come from?
The woods?
Now that proves it.
Please, sir, just where are you taking us? We just want to go home. This is all a giant misunderstanding. Please.
Don't worry. Look, we're just going north. We're almost there. Don't you worry. And then I guess you'll be judged in the eyes of God by the end of all this.
Well, then in God we trust.
I'll trust in myself, thank you very much.
Can I trust in the woods?
I guess do whatever you want, child. The cart rolls along. Behind you, there's the troop of other soldiers following. And at some point, you find yourself in a bit of a wood with a few buildings, only two farmsteads. And you arrive in front of one of them. The road is muddy. It's been raining a few days earlier, and it's still wet. And then the cart stops. And when you look around, you can see standing in front of the farmstead is a priest of some sort, a reverend. Behind him is a very tall, muscular man in armor. The only thing about his face that isn't covered by beard or his collar or his hat are his eyes and a single scar that runs through one of them. The soldier in the front of the cart, who's been speaking very loudly, calls out to the priest, "Reverend, we come from Kuford to deliver these prisoners." The reverend approaches the cart, looks at you. You can see he's a middle-aged man, getting quite old. He's holding a book. And he has long hair with one of those caps that the priests wear. And then he very suddenly says, "All right, well done. Take off their manacles." "But, Reverend, they might bewitch us." And then he looks over at you. "Oh, it seems the soldiers are not so very comfortable. Well, will you bewitch us?"
Sir, please, we are no witches. Please.
"See, soldier, don't be absurd. I've read about these three. Despite what your superstitions may have taught you, soldier, having seizures does not automatically make you a devil-worshipping witch."
Yes, sir, please, yes.
I assume that's the same for the other two of you.
What is a devil?
My God, child, you are innocent, are you?
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, don't you worry. It will all make sense, I hope, very, very soon. Now, you ladies, I think are no witches. You are Völva. What now, Reverend? Völva. Cirrus is equally heathen, but not equally irredeemable. Now, if you would remove their chains and take them out of the cart, that would be all. There's a small village close by called Assen. I believe you are expected to report there. And they take off your chains, and they force you out of the carts, still quite heavy-handed. And they leave you right there in front of the Reverend. Behind him is the big muscular man. And without any goodbye, the soldiers on the cart leave. And you're standing there.
What's your theory on Völva?
Oh, well, there's many theories, I suppose, but these are an old tradition, likely from the north, and these Völva, you, are supposed to have visions of the past, of the future, and it should be that you are able to explain all of them.
What?
Sir, please. Katarina falls to her knees and actually puts her hand together in a prayer as she looks at him. Sir, please. I am not a heathen. I am one with Christ, please.
Well, look, Völva are indeed still a trick of the devil. I believe that you've been tricked, but you still need to redeem yourself in the eyes of God.
How? How, sir, please?
Don't you worry, child. Don't you worry. I have the answer for you. But first, I would like to call you my guests, but I need to be able to trust you, of course. Trust that you won't just run away. And to trust me. It is in your best interest not to. See, it is not my salvation that's at stake.
We are very trustworthy.
Why does the man keep using big words?
I mean,
He's a big man.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me if I need to do something? Because I don't understand.
See, if you just follow me, child, I will lead you to a place where you can prove that you are in fact innocent.
But my father never told me to never really follow strangers anywhere.
Well, I suppose I should introduce myself then. My name is Johan Picard. I am the new reverend in Koevoorde, but this is my own farmstead. I've been living here for quite a while. Who are you, my child?
I am Julia, but you can call me Julie.
Ah, you are the Julie.
Yeah.
Good to know. I mean, it makes sense. There's only one child among you.
I think so. How old are you?
well, child, I fear I'm on the other side. I'm past 60.
That's very old. I can't count that high, I think. I haven't tried.
But I've also learned a lot. So it brings some good things as well. Sir, please, my name is Katarina. This was all just a mistake. Like you said, I have this illness that makes me have these seizures, but please, I've always helped the people in my village, and I know things about like herbs and how to ease headaches and help with pregnancies. I just aim to help my community.
I sympathize, my lady. I myself am only 48, so it is a pleasure of mine to be in the presence of someone with so much life experience. The mistake isn't yours, and so I aim to help you so that in the eyes of God and in the law of man, you'll be redeemed.
That is a wondrous prospect. Then I'll go with you. Julie, will you go with me as well?
I think so. I don't know where to go, so I think that's a good idea.
Don't worry, honey. You'll be safe.
Okay. Promise?
She looks over at Johan, which clearly he presents himself as a man of God. And as she is a woman of the faith, she follows him blindly. And she takes Julie with her as well and looks over at the remaining woman.
These trials, are they like based on anything?
Well, see, I'll explain now, shall I? There are places in these parts that are ancient, places that I cannot yet fully explain. Now, the other provinces of our great republic, they already have their historians, people writing things down. But these parts, nobody really cares about them. And I aim to change that. So what I'd like to do is find out the history. Now, as you are a Völva, whether you know that or accept that or not, you can see the future and the present and the past. So I've read.
So wait, you want us to help you with your research?
Exactly.
I'm in.
Great.
For sure.
You are quite tall compared to him. The man behind him is even a little bit taller than you still. And with your enthusiasm, he grunts to kind of like push you down a little. And the Reverend comments and says, don't mind him. He's just here to protect, right?
All right, I won't mind him. When can we start?
Very, very soon, I suppose.
Great.
Sound good?
You think so?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, child, don't you worry. He takes Julie's hand, and he says, by the end of all this, I think once you've helped a man of God, myself, I think there's no reason to despair.
Okay.
Good. Now, if you'll all just follow me. And he walks off. The man waits for all three of you to follow him. He'll be the last one to walk after this little group. And you'll follow him down a path. Now, this seems like not a well-trodden path. It leads away from his farmstead. But the Reverend Johann seems to know this path rather well, as if he's walked this path many times before. And it just kind of goes through a few woods, some glades. There's a small river that you have to pass as well. And before too long, you'll arrive in a bit of a glade kind of area. The trees are still obscuring the path forward, but it becomes very abundantly clear in Reverend Johann's demeanor that he's getting very excited and that you're nearing your destination. Before you do, Johann stops you and asks you, now, we're almost there, but I would like to ask you one more question before we actually get to it. And that is, have you ever seen stones, giant stones laying on top of each other?
Like a hill, sir?
Sort of, but these are very clearly not natural.
Like a house.
Sort of. They look a little like a house, but...
How big? How big is big?
Well, these are rocks that humans, you couldn't lift them.
I'm not very strong.
But neither am I. And this guy behind me, the big guy, he can't lift these rocks either.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Very, very big. They are called dolmen, or hunebedden in the local tongue.
I think I've heard of these.
Yes. Okay, very good, very good. What about the rest of you? Have you seen or heard of them?
I haven't seen them, but I've heard some theories floating about. Something about funeral rites, funeral things.
Funeral rites? That's a new theory to me. No, I've heard of people thinking this is the devil's work or old Roman statues, but I don't think that's the case at all. But I was wondering what you'd think. Let's just have a look at them. And he kind of brushes away some shrubbery, revealing a sight of giant rocks, a circle almost, of a dolmen. You see a ring of smaller rocks surrounding giant pillars with roofs of rock on them as well. You can see 5 of these kind of portals. And immediately you sense that he's right. This is not just the work of one man lifting these rocks. That would be impossible. But perhaps you have different theories of how this could have come to be. And the Reverend, very eagerly
Nice. Nice.
looks at you, expecting responses.
This is the work of heathens, sir. Is it not?
Very likely.
Maybe it was giants, really big guys. Those can lift really big rocks, right?
I like your thinking.
I'll move closer.
You move closer and you pass, you go through the shrubbery and pass a table, wooden table and a wooden bench. There's a small campfire that's not been lit in quite a while, but you can sense that the Reverend comes here more often. The path leads away from this dolmen as well. So it's one part of a longer trail you sense, but this is the important part to Johan. And when you come closer, there is some electricity in the air, some hidden force, something that you felt before. When you've had your visions, when you've had your seizures, you've always kind of felt something like this.
Sir, I'm not very comfortable. This isn't right. God doesn't want me to be here.
But, well, I'm afraid to say that this is where we have to be. This is where I want you to use your abilities, to have your vision.
Katarina looks around, getting a bit scared, feeling very unnerved, but also seeing the very big, tall guy behind Johan, which, with her frail body, she clearly can't outrun and can't fight. So she just keeps on standing there, looking at these giant rocks, feeling very, very unnerved as she looks at her companions.
Have you tried climbing them before?
Oh, yes, yeah. It is quite easy. There's good footholds.
Can I try climbing them?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I figured this would be the perfect time for you to have your vision, to do your thing. So what do? Do you touch it? Do you climb something?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I can climb. I like climbing. Can I climb them?
Go for it.
All right. And she runs off to like the biggest stone she can find to figure out how to like climb up this stone. And she's pretty dexterous. She likes climbing trees and figuring out how to get in the highest branches of things. And yeah, she's trying to find her way up this.
Oh, child. Oh, please be careful. She puts away a little bit of the fear and rushes towards where Julie starts to climb, and to just stand below the rock as a little safety net.
Don't worry, I've done this before. And she just keeps going.
What if they're like stars and constellations? Planets.
You mean?
From the sky.
Oh, I see. Oh, that is intriguing.
I don't know this constellation, though.
Yes, I'm not very learned in what is that study? Astrology, is it?
Yes.
Yes, I don't know too much about that. What I do think is that your young friend was onto something, at least. Now she mentioned
the child.
Yes. Childish innocence is often very true, isn't it? I think that she is right, that these stones have been placed here by giants.
Where did the giants go? She like screams from the top of the stone.
Very good question. And that's exactly also what I want to know.
And where did they come from? Why did they build this? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, what would your theory be?
Stars. I don't know.
That the stars would just land here and then land exactly like these?
Yes.
I find that very unlikely.
Me too, but it's more likely than giants.
Sir, I think our reverend spoke before of giants named in the Bible.
Exactly. So we know at least that giants have been around.
Exactly. But here?
Why not? Where else would they have gone?
I've never thought about this. But, sir, I mean, still, I don't think we can do what you expect. I just want to go home.
Well, look, if nothing happens, so be it. But I at least have a look. See, I mean, I'm afraid this is all I can do to help you. If you do not have your vision, the people will have their way.
Do you have parchment pens?
Yes.
Could I borrow some?
Sure.
All right.
And he walks over to the table and lays down his pack, his book next to it. He opens it, takes out parchment. Some other items fall out as well. A bunch of dug up artifacts, such as beads and flint knives, pieces of pottery, and 3 of them stick out to you. 1 amber bead, 1 flint axe head, and 1 shard of a clay pot. Now, these items, they vibrate with this electricity. The Reverend doesn't notice at all, but it's very clear to you that these items are what caused this connection that you're feeling.
Katarina can't help herself. She looks at that tiny little bead and ignores that feeling. Goes forward with her hand and takes it.
Before you even touch it, that electricity shoots off through your fingertip, through your body, and shoots off to the other 2 of your companions. Julie falls over on top of the biggest part of the dolmen. The other 2, you guys fall down on the ground in the mud, and you get flashes. What you see, we'll find out in the next episode.
Oh my god.
Well, everybody, thank you for listening to this Mythmakers one-shot. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.